Hey everybody, welcome back to another Deck Profile Friday. In this video, we'll be covering one of my absolutely favorite decks in the current Sword and SwSh-on format, updated with Astral Radiance, which is Ice Rider Calyrex. I absolutely love this deck. I think it's got a 50-50 matchup across the board. It's capable of one-hit KOing VMAXs, whereas Palkia and the other really good water type can do the same, but just the play styles are a lot different. Ice Rider, even though it's a 3-prizer, it can do all the work by itself, right? It doesn't require anything like having a big bench on both sides like Palkia does, right? However, Palkia does have a better, recovery rate there with the V-Star power that lets you put water energy into play. Whereas, Ice Rider Calyrex, if you can't do that, if you can't get another water energy into play after you max Lance, right, then you might just have to skip a turn attacking, which is not really too good. I've seen some players play the Frost Blast from Chilling Reign. When it evolves, you can, I think it's attach a water energy from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. That's not too bad. Mine's more of a streamlined version and just a more consistent version, just focusing on getting that turn 2 VMAX with the Max Lance for the one-hit knockout. So let's get into the list. I'm very happy with this list, actually. There's very few things I would change, but we have, for starters, 3 VMAX, Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and then 3 Ice Rider Calyrex V. Yes, we play a 3-3 line. I did have a 4-3 line, but I dropped it to 3-3 because I wanted to do a little bit more teching. So we got the regular Ice Rider there, 210 HP, 2 retreat, resistance to nothing, weakness to metal. Metal is an extremely good weakness to have right now, as not really a whole lot of things are weak to metal. Or pardon me, or not a lot of metal is being played. Pardon me. The next one, like the biggest one right now that's being played, is Dialga, but people are having a lot of a hard time, making that work, right? And that's pretty tricky. Just considering like the energy cost, how do you get the energy into play, etc. Right? It's a very, very slow deck, right? Or this deck here, face against Dialga, I think would outspeed it, right? And I think would definitely be capable of winning that matchup. So, and then the VMAX, they're 320 HP. Once again, 2 retreat, no resistance, weakness to metal. 2 awesome attacks there. We got Ride of the High King there. It does 10 damage, plus 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is a really good one here. If you are, if you don't need to max Lance for a KO, then you don't do it, right? You can just Ride of the High King there and do some chip damage. And then Max Lance, it does 10 damage, and then you can discard up to 2 energy from this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 120 more damage for each discarded. So you can once again just discard 1, right? But if you're doing that and your opponent's got a full bench, I would just Ride of the High King. It's the discarding 2 part that's the appealing part, because when you do that, it does 250 damage, which is insane, right? It's what this deck does. It's high damage output, and there are ways to modify that damage to knock out your opponent's V-Stars and V-Maxes. So, awesome card. This is the main attacker of the deck, right? We do have some supplemental attackers, which we'll get into later. On to the support Pokemon, though. We got 2 Chilling Reign Inteleon, 1 Sword and Shield base set Inteleon, 4 Drizzle, and then 4 Sobble. So Sobble searches out each other, which is really good, right? It's also a great starter, as you can just keep calling for more of them. And its main purpose there is obviously to evolve into the Drizzle, which has the Shaded Dealings ability, which lets you search your deck for a trainer card, which is absolutely awesome because we play so many, and being able to pick out that one that you need in that particular spot of the game is incredibly valuable. So, and then we have the Inteleon. So we got 2 different ones. The Sword and Shield base set one there, the Shady Dealings one, is an improved Drizzle, but it's also got an awesome attack, Aqua Bullet. It does 120 and then 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So this is great at picking up things, or picking off things on the bench, right? And then 120, actually does a lot for first single prizers. So, and then the other one there, the Inteleon from Chilling Reign, we got the quick shooting ability, allows you to put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is one of the ways that we manipulate the damage, right? And then its attack there, Waterfall for 70s, kind of, it's okay, right? But you shouldn't really be attacking with this one at all. So, and that is the Inteleon line. So that's a really important part of the deck. It's pretty much how the deck functions. And now on to the last support Pokemon, and the secondary attackers. We have a Radiant Hawlucha, a Starmie V, and a Suicune V. Okay, so Radiant Hawlucha, its whole purpose there is just to sit on your bench, right? As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon VMAX before applying weakness and resistance. So this is awesome. This is what, in combination with, a few cards, allows you to one-hit KO a Mew VMAX, right? Or any of the other VMAXs out there, right? Rapid Strike Urshifu, right? With 320. Duraludon is a little bit of a stretch at 330, right? And I think those are the main ones that are being played right now. Starmie there. Starmie is a nice, awesome card from Astral Radiance, right? First of all, it's got 190 HP, weakness to lightning, resistance to nothing, and then my favorite part about it is its free retreat, right? Meaning it's an awesome starter. It's great to switch into after you get your opponent KOs one of your Pokemon, right? I think it's a great card. Swift there is really cool. It goes through any effects. And then Energy Spiral. So this is the Palkia counter. It does 50 damage for each energy attached to all your opponent's Pokemon. So it's a great card for the mirror match, right? Against, I guess it's not really a mirror match, but it's like a mirror water type match, against Palkia. It's a good Arceus counter, right? When you combo with Choice Belt, and they have 5 energy in play, right? You're able to do that 280 damage. All right, just a great card. And then Suicune there. So Suicune is it's pretty much Palkia, just not as damaging, right? It has 210 HP, weakness to lightning as well, resistance to nothing, and 2 retreat. Fleet-footed there is a nice ability, allows you to draw a card when it's active. And then Blizzard Rondo, it does 20 damage plus 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. So if both players have full benches, that is doing 220 damage. Right, when you combo that with Hawlucha there, that's 250 damage. And if you play like something like a choice belt on it, you know, you're capable of hitting that 280, which is knocking out Arceus V-Star. So that is the Pokemon line. I really like it. So I don't think I would change anything. If I wanted to make it more streamlined here, you know, and just focus on that Ice Rider Calyrex rather than Tex, you know, I might play a fourth of the regular V. But I think it's pretty good right now. So, all right, on to the trainers, supporters, and stadiums. So this is the my favorite part of the deck here. Is this is one of the most teched out decks that you can have in this Sword and Shield format. Right, the supporters are absolutely amazing. We got 3 Melanie, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Professor's Research, a single Irida, a single Marnie, a single Raihan, and a single Roxanne. All right, a lot of singles in here. So Melanie there, you know, attaches a water energy card from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon V, and then you draw 3 cards. So awesome card. A Boss's Order allows you to target you know, what you want to knock out for the turn. Professor's Research is a nice discard, draw 7. Right, you know, they've had, you know, that type of a supporter pretty much since Black and White when they released Professor Juniper. So it's definitely, I think it's a staple, at least, you know, 1 copy in every deck. Irida there, so Irida is a new supporter from Astral Radiance. Search your deck for a water Pokemon and an item card. So that's pretty cool, right? It takes up your supporter for the turn, so it can kind of conflict, you know, between you know, playing Boss's Orders or Melanie, right? I'd see those 3 cards conflicting from time to time, but I think it's still a pretty good card for those turns that you just can't really do anything, right? You can't really attack because you don't have energy, or you know, you're not going for like a 1-hit KO knockout, right? And instead you're just Ride of the High King, right? Marnie there is the shuffle draw, it's disruption, right? Raihan there is a nice come from behind card. Allows you to attach an energy and then search your deck for any card, which is awesome. And then lastly, the another new supporter from Astral Radiance in Roxanne there. So I actually really like this card. I think it's a better N. You know, with Roxanne, you know, if you're losing, right, it's just awesome to be able to drop your opponent to a 2-card hand, and when you combo with our stadiums that we have, right, you can put your opponent at a huge disadvantage and force them to try and draw out of it, right? And that is it for the supporters. One thing that you don't notice is Leon in here. Yeah, Leon isn't in here, so I've been kind of on and off about it, right? Is it really worth it to have it, or is it better to just have more of a consistent deck? If I were to put it in, what would I cut? I'd probably cut a Research or an Irida, right? If I had to cut a supporter. Otherwise, I may just cut another trainer card, like another item card. But I don't know. I have to test it out and see. You know, am I capable of hitting these numbers without Leon, right? That's the big question. And if I am, then why put it in, right? If I'm not, then might be a good idea to put it in, right? And that is it for the supporters there. So now we're going into the stadiums. So the stadiums are really good in here. That's another one of my favorite parts of this deck is the stadiums, right? You know, you can play pretty much the 2 best stadiums in the current metagame. Yeah, I'm saying that. We got 3 Path to the Peak. And then a tech that I'm trying out is Temple of Sinnoh. So these 2 cards here, these 2 are interchangeable, right? So depending on your metagame, right, you can play, 4-0, 3-1, 2-2, right? It just depends on, like I said, what your metagame is and what you prefer, right? If you're playing a lot of Mew VMAX, right, there's a lot of Mew VMAX in your metagame, it's probably better to have Path to the Peak, right? If you're playing Arceus, a lot of Arceus in your metagame, you can probably play 2 of each, right? Like I said, it just depends on preference. Yeah, so Path to the Peak there, it shuts down Pokemon with a rule box. So they have no abilities, which is awesome. So no Starbirth from Arceus V-Star. None of that. I can't remember the name of the Palkia V-Star's ability. I can't remember the name of that, but it shuts that off, right? It does a lot of things. No Fusion Strike system, right? From the Genesect V and Mew Genesect. Just awesome card. Temple of Sinnoh there. All special energy attached to Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, provide colorless energy. So it cancels out your opponent's double turbo energy, which is really good. And, Fusion Strike energy doesn't have that stupid effect thing. It just becomes a colorless, which is cool, right? A lot of decks, like right now, are going to be playing Hiding Dark Energy because dark Pokemon are going up, right? So Hiding Energy is going to get shut down. It's just going to go to a colorless, right? So it's a pretty good pretty good stadium. Like I said, it just depends what's in your metagame. So that's these stadiums. Only 4 stadiums. This is also one of the few decks to play 4 stadiums. I would always play 4 stadiums in this deck. I wouldn't play any less than 4, right? As I want to, put my opponent into a not so great situation. And then the item cards. We have 4 Evolution Incense, 4 Quick Ball, 2 Capacious Bucket, 2 Choice Belt, 2 Level Ball, and then 1 of each of Air Balloon, Fan of Waves, Scoop Up Net, and Switch. Right? So yeah, that's these item cards there. So Evolution Incense searches out our evolution cards. Quick Ball searches out our basics. Level Ball there, the other Pokemon searcher, searches out our Drizzles and Sobbles, which are really good. Capacious Bucket searches out energies, so that's another card I might consider dropping to 1, right? For Leon, right? Because we do play, Irida, right? Which can search for that, right? And we also, like I said, have the Drizzle line. Choice Belt there increases our damage by 30. Air Balloon drops the retreat cost of our Pokemon by 2 that it's attached to. And then our other 2 switching cards. Switch obviously does switching things. And Scoop Up Net there is good to reuse our Drizzles and our Inteleons again. And then lastly, Fan of Waves. So this I absolutely really like in here. Just a single copy. It's been in and out of my lists since really it came out. Since Chilling Reign came out and Ice Rider was being played. I think it's an awesome card. Fan of Waves, Path to the Peak, Roxanne, all in one turn, right? When your opponent is ahead of you, puts them to a 2-card hand. They won't be able to attack with their Arceus because you shuffled their double turbo in, right? And they can't use any abilities. Like, that's incredibly hard to get out of, right? And they literally have to top deck, a draw supporter, so a Research or a Marnie, to get out of it. And yeah, this is the trainer cards here. So this is awesome. I love these. And we will be getting into the energy right away. And so lastly, I wonder what type of energy we play in the deck. I think it's... Oh, is it fire energy? Is it lightning energy? Oh, no. No, never mind. It's water energy, right? Because it's a water deck. Like, pretty much every Pokemon except for the Holucha here is a water Pokemon. So, we play water energy. We only play 7 because that's all the room that we have, right? I've seen some lists play 8. I've seen some lists play 6, right? It just depends on your preference, right? And then also, if you decide to blend this deck with Palkia, I could probably see the energy count going up a little bit to combo with Palkia V-Star, right? And its ability to put that energy into play. So there's a lot there, right? But 7, I think, is a pretty good number. And yeah, this is Ice Rider Calyrex. So hopefully you all enjoyed this one. It's, like I said, it's one of my favorite decks. It's it's a great card right now, and I think it's it has a 50-50 matchup across the board, and especially with the support from Astral Radiance, a lot of water support. I think it's going to be moving up there again. So, all right. So that is the list. And hopefully you all enjoyed this one. Give it a try. Test it out, right? Let me know what you think. And leave a comment. And, if you like what you're seeing on my channel, then... consider liking it and, liking this video and subscribing. As, I'm trying to post, good content, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday being the openings, Wednesday being the live gameplay, and then Fridays will be Deck Profile Friday. That's where we cover a deck from any format, from the start of the Pokemon TCG, so base set to current. And, it's probably my favorite day of the week, as I absolutely love doing Deck Profile Fridays. So, yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this video, and see you in the next one.